meetings during the typical lunch stream hour, and I've got meetings after that, and then meetings after that. So I have a very busy day today. Unfortunately, hopefully I get some time to write in between all of this or afterwards. We'll see how things go along today. But we are updating you on the Amazon situation with my being banned with Glorified's ebook yesterday. It's been an absolutely crazy 24 hours. And I didn't want to talk until I had a lot more information in detail, and also to make sure that I wasn't going to mess up with Russell Silver Empire's efforts with Amazon here to try to get things resolved. We are having very difficult problems with them, and they are just stalling this book over and over and over again. And it seems yesterday I wasn't quite sure if it was a intentional thing that they did or if it was like some glitch in their system or something like that. And now I have absolute confirmation that we are just being screwed with. So I'm very, very disappointed in what's been going on with Amazon. I was hopeful we'd get this resolved yesterday. We still do not have a complete resolution, and I will go over the nitty-gritty details of what Amazon's doing right now to this book, Glorified, and it's absolutely astounding. So we got a article in PJ Media yesterday that went up regarding this topic, which I thank you very much on this. I'm going to pull up the article right now. If you're new and you haven't watched and you haven't been paying attention, what happened was yesterday, Glorified, my book set to come out on Friday, was taken down by Amazon. They took down the ebook, they removed all the pre-orders, and they just killed it. And every pre-order was gone. The backers, now what's interesting is the consumers did not get told that the pre-orders were going to be gone until early this morning. So there was a full day that went on where they told us and they refunded all the money, at least on our end, and they didn't give the money back to consumers and didn't do that till today. Now, when they did that this morning, they sent an email to consumers saying that the publisher removed the item from Amazon and it's no longer being sold. This is absolutely false. This is not what happened whatsoever. So I think it's an automated email that they send out at this point, and that's what's going down. Now, this didn't just happen to me, of course. This happened to Declan Finn with his new book, Deus Vult. Two books with very strong traditionalist Christian themes, and I believe they were targeted as such. Sorry about the phone call right there. I just, that's what happens sometimes when I'm here. All right, so this is going down, and this there's an eerie situation, which is very similar, and it is pointed out to me by Drake, who's in the chat right now. Hello. Hey, Julian, by the way. And you're not billed until it's released. That's the Amazon thing. Okay, so I guess the billing never happens until the actual book gets released via Amazon pre-orders, and you're just kind of, pledging that you will spend it at that time. So nobody had to get refunded. Nobody got their cards charged. However, I lose all the sales, which is kind of a painful thing at this juncture. All right, but he brought up that it was a similar situation to a book called Corrosion that was put out by Castalia House a couple years ago. It got bogged down, and I'm going to explain to you what's happening at this point and why it's becoming quite clear that there is somebody at Amazon messing with us intentionally rather than just like some automated problem that happened. So the books went down. The pre-orders were returned. All my pre-orders are erased. It's gone. My publisher was in emails with Amazon yesterday to get the book back up. Amazon said for him to resubmit the book as if it's a new title. Now, Amazon was telling people, I got a quote from somebody else via their Amazon chat, that the book was down due to the content producer, that's us, updating the contents. This now, I don't know what this tech in India or whatever sees on a screen or whatnot. I can only imagine that this is because we then responded to Amazon's email, which told us to re-upload the book and did so, that it appears as if we're then updating the contents at that point. This was not the case. Amazon took down the pre-order, and then we resubmitted the book after Amazon took down the pre-order. Amazon said yesterday that we failed to upload a pre-order, and this is where it gets really interesting. We did not do that. We uploaded the pre-order about a month ago, and I was just wondering if there was some sort of error in their database or something like that that caused this at this point. And now I've got pretty much confirmation that this was not the case. There's definite malice here going on with Amazon because when we uploaded the whoops, I shouldn't put up my email. Sorry. When we uploaded the new version, Amazon then flagged it and said because they have an old version of the book, which was the one we uploaded, which remember they 24 hours ago claimed they didn't have. They flagged it saying the old version of the book is there, and since we're putting a new version of a book out, we need to verify that we're the copyright holders of this new version. Okay, so they have an old version. It's in their system. For whatever reason, it's not attributed to us. I don't even understand how that can happen. But they have the old version, which they claimed they did not have 24 hours ago, right? And now the new version is being compared to that, and they're asking us to provide copyright information such as ID, contracts, things like that. I'll read you a little bit of the email that my publisher sent this morning. It was very interesting. So they said, thank you for the message. This is a customer service email. Thank you for the message regarding the following books. John Delaware is glorified. We reviewed the information you provided. Based on a review, we're unable to confirm that you hold the necessary publishing rights. Now, remember, it was uploaded a month ago, and they claimed it was not uploaded. And they now claim that they had the book, and they cannot verify our new book because of this old book's existence. So they say, in order to publish the books, you must reply with this email with further information, a personal statement that you have the publishing rights, a copyright application, contract signed by all the parties. Please confirm your publishing rights. Otherwise, the book will be blocked and will be unavailable for sale on Amazon. And they hold it in limbo in the meantime. They don't allow it up in the meantime, unfortunately. So there's that. And so Russell responds, I am the previous publisher, because nothing changed. He's the same publisher as the one who published the last one. So since they have that information in their database and they have his information in the database, why are they not able to verify that the same person who published the first one is now the person who's publishing this one? It doesn't make any sense. And so they are bogging this down in bureaucracy. They're trying to make sure this book does not get up, and they're trying to just keep us down. And this is exactly what happened with that corrosion book. They did the exact same thing, just like Drake said. There was a content update, which we updated the content at their direction. They said we had to update the content because they, quote, did not have the content, right? And therefore we couldn't have the pre-orders because they didn't have the content. And then we put it in, and they are comparing it to the old one and saying that we now don't have the copyright where we had the copyright yesterday. This is all messy stuff, and it's tough to make a good talking point out of, unfortunately, because you got to explain the whole thing. But it's clear that Amazon is messing with this book. It's clear that Amazon does not want this book out, and it's clear that they are attempting to silence us at this point. So I don't know what to do about it. And this is what I'm telling everybody right now. This is the very difficult part about this. It's hard to rally around this cause, right? Can you order directly from the publisher? You can order directly from the publisher in paperback form on silverempire.org. I've got that in the YouTube comments down below. Now, here's the deal, and this is exactly, Chris Ritchie, you're bringing up exactly why this is a difficult situation for me. I've lost all my sales, my pre-sales, for 2 months worth of pre-sales on this book, which have been piling up very nicely since the first couple of books did very well, and people then click on the next one and want to pre-order the next one. So I've lost all those pre-orders, and next I then don't have much recourse, and I can't get up the book at this point because Amazon's bogging us down in bureaucracy and obviously not giving us a straight answer on any of this stuff. It's very bizarre, but at the same time, it's very hard to get people to rally behind it because I am saying Amazon's messing with me. Amazon is messing with my books because of my content, or because of who I am. I don't know why whoever's messing with it is messing with it. But they might know who I am. I'm saying they're doing that, and then my only recourse, because as a Amazon author, is to say, go buy my other books on Amazon. Really? You know, because that's the only that is where the marketplace is. We are in contracts through Kindle Unlimited that every single one of my books is, you know, I have to give 3 months where it's exclusive to Amazon. I could put them up elsewhere after those 3 months, which is going to be 3 months from now, right? But if I do that, right, and I get out of Kindle Unlimited at that point, I put them up in another store 3 months from now. Well, this controversy's gone. You know, people forget it's 3 months from now. It doesn't matter what happens on the internet in 3 months. I mean, this is gone, right? And so if I get out of Kindle Unlimited, I'm going to be losing the Kindle Unlimited sales at that point, and I'm not going to be gaining anything from putting them up in the other stores. Nobody searches the other stores. There's nobody on other stores. There's nobody on silverempire.org right now, except for people I'm directing personally who are going and finding my book right here. There's people I'm directing personally through this website and all that, but just having it on here is not useful to me, right? So I'm actually just going to be losing out if I do anything other than keep it in the Kindle Unlimited service, because people do search Amazon and Kindle Unlimited and find my books. It's about 1/3 of my revenue all the way. It's absolutely, exactly. It's very real money. And that's the deal. I cannot walk away from Amazon. If I walked away from Amazon, it would end my career as an author right now. I would have no way to grow as an author, no way for people to really discover me, and it would be a big deal. I cannot make a statement fight out of this without destroying my career, and I'm not going to do that. It doesn't make any sense to do that. Secondly, my walking away from Amazon and them not getting the couple $1,000 a month or whatever that I make off of Amazon is not going to hurt Amazon. Amazon's not a small company like an Indiegogo where their revenue is like $10 million total, or Patreon where their revenue is like $50 million total. Amazon is giant, monopolistic, embedded with the government. Google, they control so many industries beyond just books that they're huge. My boycott and your boycott of Amazon would do absolutely nothing. It would be utterly futile and utterly pointless. All it would do would be to hurt my business, and making that stand to hurt my business when the whole point is they hurt my business is just counterintuitive to doing this entire thing. And that's the tough part. I have no way to really capitalize off this quote controversy, right? I mean, a lot of controversy, you see it capitalized off some guy made up something on YouTube about how his mailbox got knocked over, right? And then blamed some random people about that. And then he made $100,000 off of his Kickstarter because he blamed random people for his, he made a big thing out about that. Well, that's obviously a fake situation. People can, but there's a rally point. You can get on this. My rally points do not appeal to the alt tech type, because if you want alt tech, what are you going to get from me? So, I mean, you can back me on Patreon, but you're not likely to do that because of, again, the alt tech thing. You can back me on Kickstarter for my other books. You can't get this book on Kickstarter at the moment. Again, that's not really an alt tech platform, but the only way I can get seen at this level of where I'm at as an author is to be on these platforms and to use these platforms, and honestly to be on them as long as possible. Now, of course, being reliant on these platforms is not ideal, nor something I want to do, but I do need these platforms in order to get this exposure that I'm going to need in order to eventually break from them. And I'm on enough to where, if spread across all of these, one goes away forever, once this builds big enough, if I get deplatformed from one or whatever, there is going to be less of an issue. But yes, Amazon, Google, Apple, Facebook are the big guys. Boycotting them does absolutely zero good. So you got to support the indie authors the way that the indie authors need to be sold. And this is a marketplace. This is the marketplace of ideas at this point. And so, honestly, the way to support best is to just make these books so big on Amazon that Amazon takes better care of us in their customer service department, because Amazon doesn't care about us right now. We're just a small little number for them right now, right? But if we get big enough, we become a big number for them. And if we get to that point, then I might have a direct customer service representative, things like that. Again, it's like build your own platforms. Here's my own platform, but again, this website here, telling people to go buy this book is great, but it's not even getting anywhere close to the pre-orders I had on Amazon, even with all the media attention. So Very, very interesting and weird thing. Um, but this is where we're at. So all I can say is this book is great. I'm very excited for this book. Glorified is fantastic. It is worth your paperback if you want to go on a paperback or a hardcover. I would say this series is definitely worth it. The first book has huge reviews already. I'll put it up. I gotta find the. I gotta grab it. The easiest way for me to link to the book is actually go to my steampunk series, then go to this because it's in the also bots, and then go to it. But huge reviews, 4.7 out of 5 stars. Nobody's even come by. The best part is nobody's even come by and one or two starred it because it's honestly it's just that good of a book. It would be very hard for somebody to do that because they'd have to be pretty dishonest. Well, not to say they haven't done that before in other books, but definitely would have to do that. And so Sanctified is keeping up with the same star rating. 4.7 is very high. It's difficult to maintain around that point because there's always somebody who doesn't like something for some reason. So Justified was really a genre-defining book and a genre-redefining book. It's causing waves. It's getting people like Razor Fist on YouTube to talk about it. It's getting people all over the internet to talk about it. And Glorified is the full conclusion of this. This is full Christian doctrine right here. Justified, sanctified, glorified. I went over this on my stream yesterday. These are the processes of salvation through our lives. Justification is the moment we accept Christ into our heart and we say, we acknowledge that you are God and you came to earth and died, were buried, and rose again from the grave. And we are going to change our lives in order to follow the path that you want. That is the justification process. The sanctification process is the process of your life, where you are actively changing, actively trying to do God's will in order to better yourself, to be more godly at the time of your death. And glorification is the time of your death and your ascension into heaven, right? And so that does spoil a little bit about the books, but things change within the books. And Glorified really just hits the science fiction elements on all cylinders. It really opens things up. You guys know how I try to like slow roll the world building through these trilogies, and it's not going to let you down. It's going to be the probably I don't know. This will be probably the best received book once people actually get into it. All right. So that's these. That's where we're at right now. Amazon is still messing with us. We are trying to deal with their quote copyright because they apparently have our old manuscript and they don't want us to put in the new manuscript, even though they told us they don't have the old manuscript. So we're getting the runaround. We're sending all the documentation we possibly can, trying to get the ebook back up. And yeah, this is going to be a weird ride. Now, what's interesting though, is we'll see when I actually get this up if people actually come in. Again, I think it's a hard sell to get people to go, hey, Amazon's screwing me. Go buy the book on Amazon. Obviously, we've gotten a lot of questions of where else can I buy this, but that's going to be the answer. If we can knock this up huge in the ranks in Amazon again, it just gets seen by a lot more people. This gets then promoted by their algorithms into different services and things like that. And that's it. So we want that. Let's see. So Glorified's doing its thing. My other links I put down below. There's a big one ending right now. We got 24 hours left. I'm putting up hardcover versions for Steam and Country, and we're paying for the formatting and setup fees for the hardcovers because these books deserve a new nice hardcover edition. We just went through and fixed a bunch of the typos and got rid of a couple sentences that weren't very useful or good in continuity. So we fixed all that. Big thanks to Drake in the chat for helping me with that and getting that going. And so these are going to be the definitive version for Steam and Country and its subsequent sequels. Here's the cool part. So you can just back it just to back it. I do have it a $5 pledge if you just want more stories digitally and all that and don't want to go all in on these hardcovers and all that. We do have, I'm going to be sending out some short stories that I wrote that take place in the world. They build the world a lot better. If you like this world and are interested in this, these really help define the world. And I've got one more. So I think I promised 4, right? 3 short stories: Tangled Web, Frontline, and Baron von Mata. Okay, The Island of Fae. So that's 3 short stories for $5. Pretty good deal there. That'll end up being about one of the night training books in length, and add to it. Add to the whole world. We are going to eventually have a short story collection. But I don't know. It's once I get enough short stories to really flesh out a whole book. So it's going to be a long time before these ever get seen again. You can get the hardcover. You can get the first 2 books hardcover, the first 3 books hardcover, or just go all in and grab all 4 books hardcover. I also have a Become a Character. I'll write you into the story for book 5, and that's the Kickstarter. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited that think about this, guys. I mean, this it looks on the low side compared to my comics, but these are books that have been out like 2.5 years. So this is the fact that this book for Steam and Country still gets this kind of attention to get $1,000 worth of sales on the hardcover 2.5 years later is unheard of for Amazon stuff. Usually the rule is your first month is 70% of your sales, and it just goes like a bell curve and then after the first 3 months, it's pretty much dead. That we have bucked the trend with this. This keeps getting word of mouth, and it keeps going out there, and people keep finding it. So I'm very happy about that. So if you want to back something, that's a great thing to back. Also, I'm also really promoting, and I know I've got too many things to promote. I'm sorry. I've got a new book, this Glorified thing. I've got that thing. Patreon. We are expanding our Patreon. I'm going to be putting up new comics. I'm just doing short comics until we can afford to do other comics. So the further that this goes, the further the content gets produced. Right now, the Patreon is also paying for the streaming service. I'm on a streaming service that lets me restream to Facebook Live, to Periscope, to Twitch, and to YouTube all at the same time. And so it helps me reach a much broader audience than I would if I was just streaming to YouTube. And that cost by itself is about $200 a year, which we are covering through Patreon subscribers because people came on to help me get this streaming going. So it helps the YouTube content. It helps my blog content. It just helps me have an extra fun stash. Right now, I'm getting close to where I can pay for all the lettering I get done in a month. I'm doing some of it myself. But I'm using it right now to just get these short stories and comics done. And I was showing the other day one of these. I'm going to actually show a page from it that I was lettering. And I got the Adobe lettering program myself, which is a $20 a month thing too. I mean, that's the other thing, right? And I appreciate you getting on to help with the streaming. But all these programs cost money is the thing. So Adobe Illustrator is $20 a month too. This streaming is $10 a month. All these things are just add up. And so I am lettering this myself, and I'm doing the art for this myself. Right now, to get art like this, I can pay for about 4 pages a month just on Patreon funds alone. So I can just create short comics every month. The more that we get on there, the more better the content I'll do, and the more comics I'll produce. It's just like everything else. Once these things really blow up, I know Rags' Patreon is like way out of control at this point, and they get really great donations. But if you like the comics, all my comics get uploaded on there. If you like my books, they get uploaded on there before going on to Amazon. I give them out to my subscribers several weeks in advance, so you can read them and review them, and then they go up on Amazon. And then I put out short stories. And I've been putting out a short story a month so far. I've been putting out a comic a month so far. My novels, I'm not every month. I'm about 3-4 a year. Yeah, correct. There's obviously not physical copies on this. I guess I could set up a tier for physical copies to be made with this, but that might open up a nightmare for me, and I don't want to spend my time fulfilling stuff. So I want to spend my time writing and creating stuff. Cool. So that's all the stuff that we've got going right now. Amazon's still messing with us. It is. Did they put it back up? Glorified is on Amazon at the moment. Hold on. To my knowledge, it is not. So Glorified Rose. No, it's not. It's still not up. Justified and Sanctified are up. Glorified is still not up. So The physical copies are up. That's what people make a mistake of. So here's my screen on that. Boop doop doo. So you look up glorified Della Rose, and there's glorified rice. Wow, I should get a glorified rice T-shirt. Probably I should sell glorified rice T-shirts. It's pretty great. That's pretty funny. But you see, then the next are justified, sanctified, and glorified is not here. So unfortunate. Why? Look at this. Susan Rice comes up with my name. It's unfortunate. All right. Yeah. So yeah, the physical copy. Amazon treats physical copies and digital copies as if they're completely different books until we link them. So the physical copy is up there, but the digital copy was taken down and removed. And all my you can't do pre-sales on physical copies, incidentally. But the digital copy they removed all the pre-sales. So almost all my books are digitally anyway. Could I repeat all the books that are out? Can I actually name all my books that are out and available for sale? Let me see if I can actually do this. Star Realms Rescue Run, that's out of print, but I do have copies. Email me if you want one. The Stars Entwined, Make Science Fiction Fun Again, For Steam and Country, Blood of Giants, The Fight for Rislandia, The Iron Wedding, Justified, Sanctified, Glorified, and Flying Sparks Volume 1, Flying Sparks Volume 2, and Flying Sparks Meta Man Special are all the books you can buy right now. I guess you could get there. I also have novellas out online, which are Night Training, Guard Training, and Spy Training, and then Gravity of the Game, respectively. So that's all of my books for sale. I named them all. 17 products. Pretty good. Yeah, Glorified Rice. $20. This T-shirt is not worth $20. That's very funny though. I could design a better Glorified Rice T-shirt. Maybe I'll sell one on my crypto fashion store. All right, that's everything. I actually have a meeting I need to get to right now, so I will update you guys as soon as I get through whatever this headache is with their copyright BS. Obviously, I own the copyright to my own book, so it's silly. And obviously, we're the same people uploading the book as we were last time, so it's not like it's changed. So Amazon's definitely messing with us right now. It is going to be a great book. And so I'm excited to get this into your hands and to have this entire trilogy out finally. Interested to see what you guys think about it when you get to it. Thanks again. We will keep fighting the good fight. We are not going to back down. We're not going to water down our message. We're going to keep going. And remember, if you cuck, you lose.